projects. I mean, I'm at the Kingdom. I ain't never been here. This shit look like a stadium.
Hey, yo, I don't know what podcast y'all listening to, but the only one I'm listening to is Sophisticated Ignorance. Because you know why? That's the only shit that's lit to me. Harlem,
Police got
Front of the session, run that bitch, and the spread of philosophy today is Sophisticated Ignorance.
True game. We all in here, man. Sophisticated Ignorance, man. That one.
Showtime, Sean Porter here with my boy Sincere. You're watching the Sophisticated Ignorance Podcast. Stay tuned, y'all.
What's going on, people? It's your man, the incredible Marvin Wonderful, out here in the beautiful streets of Detroit. Please tune in to Sophisticated Ignorance. It's the story of my life.
Yo, it's T-Top, top busy the bear king of the motherfucking state, man. We rocking with Sophisticated Ignorance, man. Y'all rock with them because they rock with us. You heard? Quite life. Wait,
Bitch! Shotgun Shook, man. Sophisticated Ignorance, man. Tap in, man. You already know, man. Good old merch, man.
Yo, get a load of me, ain't no control of me. I control everything. I.C.E is in the motherfucking building. You're now watching Sophisticated Ignorance, you heard? Hey, let me give you niggas a word of advice, you punk ass nigga. You walking down the alley by yourself, bring a dog with you, suck.
This is Sophisticated Ignorance. Write my curses in cursive.
Let's go. The sports talk of the universe right now. Shedeur Sanders, he was finally drafted. So much speculation. Everybody's being speculative, on what happened for this turnout. For him to end up being drafted, the 5th round, 144th pick, I believe. They told him, you love Brady so much, we're going to turn you into him. Let's see if you really Brady for real. That's how it feels. Menace, I'm going to start with you, man. You did a lot of great predictions for the Giants. You know, shout out to C's. I know he's an unofficial GM for the 49ers, but we won't be talking about them today. You know, he runs the best free agency campaigns on Twitter in history. Shout out to C's. I mean, 49ers, give my man a job, man. You know what I mean? Now, do he get the players he want? No, but he does campaign. Sorry, C's. I know. Menace.
What's up?
What happened in this situation? How did Shedeur fall the way that he
did? Man, he fell because of his pops, man. His pops changed the game in college, and niggas don't like that, you know what I'm saying? The superior is above. They don't like it, you feel me? So they tried to suppress him, you feel me? Shedeur just had to. He was the person that suffered from it. You feel me? Like a lot of the shit with Deion. I don't think it was because people were scared of Deion coming in to like behind Shedeur. It was just what Deion has created. You feel what I'm saying? The environment he's created in the college football world. And they don't want other players like Shedeur to emerge and come and dictate where they're going, what they're doing, their value and stuff like that. They want you to, you feel what I'm saying? They cracking whips. They want you to kiss their feet. Cause I even seen some report that said, or niggas should basically come, what Shedeur should do is call other GMs that need a quarterback to fucking tell him a bunch, like, and that's like, nah, bro, that's like kissing ass. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, nah, he ain't need to do that. His talent speaks for itself. It's on the field. It's on tape. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I'm glad he finally got drafted. He shouldn't have dropped that low. You know what I mean? The league just gonna show you that we the league and nobody's above us. You feel what I'm saying? That's just why he got dropped. It's not because he can't play. He can't read defenses. He can't win games. He not X, Y, and Z. Everybody, you feel what I'm saying? So that's just where it had nothing to do with the player Shedeur Sanders.
Yo, C's, you were watching very close. Yep. Saw you on Twitter, saw you tweeting during the situation. You know, why do you feel Shedeur dropped in the draft the way that he did?
I mean, I'm a piggyback off of Menace. It's definitely got to be something personal with Deion. I just feel bad because, like we said earlier off camera, he's never gotten in trouble. Honor roll student, like NFL baby, you know what I'm saying? Like probably the most unique NFL child that we've seen because we've never seen a black quarterback be this prepped and be this ready to come into the league, you know what I'm saying, with like the experience of having a lifestyle already. So like he's not gonna go crazy and buy a whole bunch of cars and a whole bunch of whips and and do a whole bunch of goofy off the field shit because he's seen it all already through his pops. being one of the all-time greats. I don't know. I just kind of feel like the NFL still being 70% black, African American, but the one position that is probably the most important position in American team sports is the quarterback position, and it's something that they hold dear. You feel what I'm saying? Like anytime you speak of elite quarterback play, they always try to compare certain players to like other white quarterbacks, which is cool. You know what I mean? It comes with the territory. But like players have dropped in the past, players have had all types of like discrepancies and things off the field. Shedeur got none of that. And for him to drop to the 5th round, being a first round talent, is mind boggling. I've never seen nothing like it for real. Like I've been watching the draft since I was a youngin'. So like Menace said, I'm happy that he got drafted. You know what I mean? Hopefully he's in a situation where they actually want him. They're gonna give him a fair shake to actually win that job. And sky's the limit from there. You know what I mean? It'll add a chip on the shoulder for him to be, like driven for the career, but it's just fucked up that he got done like that in a public setting. You know what I'm saying? He got all these memes, people making fun of him. You know what I mean? People doing like the prank calls and all this other goofy shit that we've never seen somebody else have to go through. I think it's utterly messed up. But you know, the money off his back, he ain't got no pressure because the players that got drafted ahead of him at the quarterback position, they got all the pressure. You know what I mean? So if he comes in and does his thing, I think he'll be straight.
Before I go around to each member of our NFL panel right now, does anybody have a difference of opinion that Menace and Surreal share?
I think it got a lot to do with colluding, being that Dion is who he is. I think it got something to do with money because they was already set up to get a big bag. I think the Maras and the Rooneys who sit at the head of the NFL table, and we know how they both move the organizations, came together, told everybody what the fuck to do. We not letting this young Negro get in here. You right, see, it ain't he gonna get money and go do foolish shit. He's already coming in loud and brass. Look how big the chain is. Look how I got everything already. We gonna knock you down a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, so I just feel it's on one of them levels. Like, and he in a good position. You know what I mean? At this point, he could work without no pressure. But I think they fucking him over. Like, it's really a bad situation for him. Like, this fucked up his money in the long run. He'll be able to come back though.
You gotta remember, NFL ownership is a very tight knit group.
Yeah, the Maras sit at the head of the table.
They did the same thing with Cap. You know what I mean? So if you get in that realm, going behind ownership, or ownership has some type of vendetta against you, every team's is on one line. So it's gonna happen. So he got drafted. I mean, he's in a decent spot. I don't think it's a race thing, because obviously the number one pick was Cam. So I don't think it had nothing to do with race. I just think that his dad had a main issue with that. And once the ownership come together and say, hey, we're gonna send a message, they all gonna gonna do it. Same thing happened to Cap. So he got drafted though at the end of the day. But I mean, the only thing that messed up is his money. So he's still gonna get I think he's still gonna ball out. It's gonna be a story, but once the season starts and he gets on our field, we're gonna forget about this. So,
do we know for sure it was first round talent?
If he played a different position, you think he would drop that far?
Hold on, Al. What'd you say?
Do we know for sure he was first round talent?
What does first round talent mean?
He was in the draft boards. He was a top 20 player on the board.
I'm asking Al, like, what does it mean to be a first round talent? What does that mean?
To be good enough to be going in first round, I feel like there's a difference between being first round talent and actually how it plays out to being. Just because you're a first round talent doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be drafted in the first round. It goes based off availability and what team.
It's based on what you coming in. I mean, he's a first round talent this year. Was he a first round talent last year? Maybe not. Based on the quarterback position, but he was a top 2-3 quarterback coming into this draft. So
wait. I just want if we took Jaden Daniels and put him in the draft with Andrew Luck and RG3, is he Is he going first ahead of them? Not saying Jaden Daniels. I'm like, can't we do that to all quarterbacks and move them in different drafts and they don't have the same spot that they had before?
Jaden Daniels wouldn't win over Andrew Luck. Hell no.
What he said is valid. Like you gotta factor in the class that he's coming into, right? Before the draft started, on draft boards, Shedeur was the number 2 ranked quarterback after Cam.
Yeah.
So, and he was top 20 overall. Like that's what they had him. All the draft experts and all that shit had him there. There's 32 picks in the first round.
On one list, Mel Kiper had him number 1.
Number 1.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, he's a first round talent according to the scouts who evaluate regularly, watch hundreds of hours of film. So, I mean, like it ain't like he was a first player.
And he had a worse line than Cam Ward had.
He didn't have any of the thing. Well, he's not in the same division. I mean, the top tier schools are always going to have the better talent. That's just what it is. You know what I mean? Like Colorado is not a top tier school. It's not LSU. It's not Alabama. It's not Miami. It's not Notre Dame. It's not any of the top teams.
Yeah, but
they're not going to get the same situations because people want to go to those top schools to have a better chance at getting in the NFL.
So 2 years ago, nobody knew who Cam Ward was.
Absolutely, he was in Washington, wasn't he? Like no,
he was in Washington State last year, and he was at Immaculate Word before that.
Well,
and he was a 0-star recruit coming out of high school.
Here's a crazy thing: he was actually being criticized the same way Shedeur was until Shedeur tried to show that loyalty to each other on camera. That's my speculation.
He's not rapping. For one, we know how they feel about that. Like any other position could do that.
He's a closet rapper. He's not dropping albums and going on tour.
But he's a quarterback. That's what I'm trying to say. Is that at the end of the day, like race still factors into the position that you're playing, because there's a bunch of niggas who do a bunch of crazy shit coming into the league every year and they don't get scrutinized. But as a quarterback, you got to adhere to certain things that we correlate to being a white player in that league. Cam was very well spoken. Obviously, he said all the right things in his interviews from what we've seen. You know what I'm saying? Like he was very humble in comparison to Shedeur.
I saw Shedeur. I don't get Shedeur.
He wanted to make an example out of him. And race plays a big factor in race only plays a factor in the quarterback position for real. Like you have to carry yourself a certain way. You know what I mean? Unless you're an undeniable talent coming in that they can't like. Think about it. I spoke about Cam Newton earlier. Like he was a number 1 pick, Heisman winner, national championship winner. Like, but you had the owner of a team talking about, oh, I'm only going to draft you if you promise not to get no tats, dreads, and earrings and shit like that. Like, would he say that shit to anybody else? Any other white quarterback coming in? No.
He
said that shit to Cam Newton.
Or any position player coming in.
Let me could it be that
tats all over their face, all types of crazy shit.
Yeah.
But could it be like have a certain image in the league, in the NFL? And Shedeur doesn't fit the aesthetic of what the NFL wants their quarterback position to be like.
Seahawks did tell Earl Thomas to cut his dreads too. Also,
think about it. But that's okay. That happens. But all right, let's bring in Lamar Jackson. He's a 2-time MVP.
Could it be that like maybe they honestly feel like if they bring him in, maybe some of the staffs of the league feel like we can't coach him because who his dad is? So he might not be trying to take information, and a lot of people like knowing Deion can get a job when he wants. But this could be a situation with Shedeur, like any coach or GM get him, he could go rogue, they feel, because his dad is in the background, and anybody could give his dad a job at this time and get Shedeur anywhere.
Well, Deion,
I think they're just throwing that shit out just to paint the narrative of what they want to paint.
I'm gonna be fair though. Deion can't get a job wherever he wants because he originally wanted to go to Florida State and they denied him. And then he
Go ahead.
Took Travis Hunter away from Florida State. That's where the drama really started. He had one of the biggest players in the world leave one of the top schools and come to a HBCU. It's been up ever since. They just been waiting for their opportunity. But go
True.
I think it's a bunch of excuses being thrown out there just to try to paint a narrative for him. You know what I mean? Like,
what if these is true though? What like it's excuses because we on the outside looking, but what if it's true? What if it's a collusion of them that's like, yo, do you honestly think he'll listen to us?
It could be true. I'm not gonna say it's not true, but I just feel like all of us are football fans in some capacity. We've never seen a player who was a couple months ago in the mix for being the #1 overall pick dropped to the 5th round.
It
Bro.
wasn't even a couple months ago, bro. It was
last week.
It was literally 2 days. It was literally 3 days
Honestly,
ago.
I'm shooting bell, but like
Before the draft clock started, he was considered supposed to be goal. It was supposed to be like 1 and 2, if anything 3. He wasn't supposed to be dropping out. Even wasn't supposed to drop out of the top 10. Like I said,
2nd
bro,
round, understandable. 5th round, bro.
the
5th?
second round is not even understandable. It's like I said, because he was literally we've literally been talking about Shedeur and Cam this whole entire time. You feel what I'm saying? That's why I said like it's literally just about Deion. You feel me? Like Deion changed the code. Like I said, that's why Nick Saban left. You feel what I'm saying? Literally, because Deion was taking players from these people. That was a shot to his ego. You feel what I'm saying? Niggas looking at it like, damn, like I said, I'm the guru of college football. When you think of college football, my name, my face pops up. Nick Saban. You feel what I'm saying?
Facts.
But
Yeah.
Deion, he coming in and he changed. He went to a HBCU. Now he over here. And he bringing, you feel what I'm saying, bringing pieces, and these college players going through the portal to come play for him. You feel what I'm saying? Over me, I don't like that.
Oh, Minutes, I want you to finish that, but Chef, how do you
Oh, to be honest with you, like I'm pretty much like agreeing with everybody. I think everybody's right. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think it's a mixture of everything. Like he's super overqualified for the position, pause, but your future relies on politics, regardless if it's for the race, upstairs blackballing, or his father. The shit is not respectable.
Fact.
Like, there's too many teams that needed this man's skill, and his skill set is ready to be molded, and he's around greats. This is an easy pickup. Like, what are we talking about? A lot of people are coming from like nothing going on, and they need everything that you can provide. Like, bro already got football fields in his backyard, and he's working with Tom Brady on a free time. Like, what are we chatting about? You know what I'm saying? So it's like at this point, like I think all of it is true. It's a combination of everything. Like I was saying that earlier. Like I feel like whoever he did, whatever he did when he was running for these colleges, some might be related to Roger. Like, yo, gang, he violated over here. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is way past disrespect. Like, it don't even make sense for certain people. People are coming out here picking positions that they do not need. Niggas is giving trades off that, like, bro, you know you're not even in a position to be giving up your pick right now. What are you doing? The Raiders traded like 2-3 times in the same round. Like, yo,
So how do we feel about that? He's
Wow.
mentored by Tom Brady. Tom Brady's part of the ownership team with the Raiders. How they pass on that?
Yeah, but that's a very small minority piece.
Yeah, that's what we was talking.
That's just a face value piece.
We was talking about that earlier.
About like, cause like you're an owner, and let's say Roger, like, yo, nobody, like, I feel like it was really like, yo, anybody pick this man? Something is like same thing with Irv Gotti with 50 Cent when he came in the building, bro. Anybody, no beats, no nothing. You ain't getting no like. We gonna make it tough.
Come on. Rest in peace to Irv. Rest in peace to Irv.
Rest in peace to Irv, but just the circumstance I'm trying to speak on.
Nah, I get
you
it.
know what I mean? Like, it's just really, we gonna make you pay every fine. It's double up. You do any, like, it's just gonna be up for whoever picked this man.
Is Trav still on?
Yeah. Yo, I feel like with this shit.
We need
go ahead, Trav.
You feel about the
Now, I agree with what Cesar Miles said. That's why I ain't saying I have the same segment as them.
All right, well, let me ask y'all this. I'm just gonna ask the panel this. How does it sound to a head coach or a GM or owner when Deion tells stories like he let his son go off by himself and then things wasn't going right for him, and then he called me and said, I need you, and then I said, all right, I got you, and he started coaching him again? How does that sound to an NFL?
I see it. I see that wholeheartedly. With the drop of him right now, I feel like Deion, somebody's going to backdoor somebody, give Deion a call. Look, I got a position over here. Your son probably still be on the depth chart because at this point, what is he, 4th? You know what I mean? So, listen, let's bust the sexy, get him over here. Then we're going to tell the world that we got a new GM, a head coach. Boom. I feel it's going to be a backdoor in that, and Deion going to be on the field.
I'm gonna spread that question out to everybody. Is that alarming to a head coach when he hears that the first signs of trouble that you had without your father, the first thing you did was call your father, and then he he started coaching you again.
Absolutely. Yeah,
I wouldn't even
absolutely.
want that as Shedeur. I wouldn't even want that because for one, look at what just having the name Sanders has done for you. You know what I'm saying? What it has done to you. You see what it creates around you. So, go through type of adversity and pick up and call your father. For one, they're expecting you to do that, and they not allowed. Like there would not be. I don't think there would be a thing of Dion like being, even if it was a backdoor, Dion would be able to come in. Hell no. This is for Dion not to stay the fuck away.
Well, yeah, we know the message was sent now, but before
it still would be that you ain't learned your lesson. We can literally do it again.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying previous, before he dropped in the draft. How does that sound to a coach? Because who leverages coaches getting jobs? Superstar players.
Yeah.
If she turns into a superstar,
exactly,
and gets leverage on his side. We've seen quarterbacks leverage coaches to be hired. And
Eli called his dad.
But
Eli called his dad and said, "I ain't going to San Diego."
I don't even think Eli called them. I think Arch just pulled up, and I don't think Eli had a problem going to San Diego. I think Arch pulled up on some, that in fairness to the NFL, let's shoot them some bail. They said Arch pulled that off, right? Could the NFL then say, hold on, we don't want that to happen again?
Again, yeah.
Again, and it's like that again.
Elway
Like
did
I
it.
said, look at the
Last night.
It's literally in black. It's literally in black and white. Like no pun. You know what I'm saying? All pun intended. It's literally all black and white. That shit ain't happening again. Even if it was that, it's not going to be one of us that is able to do that shit.
Yeah, nah. I agree.
This the only time we ever seen a black man from the league raise another black man to be a power position and didn't get it. We typically don't even see this movie of a star being a league. I raised a great motherfucking kid, because most of the time they raise bums outside of some white people having, like, you got the McCaffreys who got heritage to the league, the Watts who got heritage, like a lot of linemen, linebackers. But when it comes to like offensive powerhouses, we've never seen this. I mean, so to get this dragged in our face like that is like, yo, at some point, collectively, niggas in the league need to start standing up for shit. It's just getting dogged on everybody.
Go ahead, Chef?
I was gonna say, like, it's kind of buns, because it's like when you got again, this is why people feel like it's about race. Like, you got like white fathers that got their kids going ushered into the NFL, automatically open arms, mad love. You feel me? And it's like with this particular situation here, like it's kind of contradictional when it's like you want to use his father against him, regardless. Like that's the cheek shit. Like, even if I don't call this nigga and I'm out here, it's still gonna be your last name don't mean nothing and this, that, and the third. Like, why would I have to and play at a disadvantage just for your liking when I can call my pops, really get right out here? And that's a problem. I can completely understand if I'm walking in entitled with no numbers. Again, overqualified for a position. That's the main shit we keep skipping. Overqualified, my G's. So it's like I'm damned if I do, I'm damned if I don't. I don't use my pops. My last name is still against me. Like, because my last name is Sanders. So if I do use my pops and become the best nigga I can be, that's still a problem.
Oh, nigga, they're gonna be like, oh, nigga, you too.
It don't make
My question still remains though. If he played a different position, is he dropping this far?
No.
I think it's possible.
I just think it's the aesthetic that comes with being a quarterback.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The best thing for the league, the powers that be in the league, is that Lamar hasn't had playoff success because they don't want to see a nigga, you know what I mean, with the chains, with the grills, speaking the way he speaks. And we know that Lamar is a pure football type of nigga. Like, he don't get in no trouble. But how can a two-time MVP, Heisman Trophy winner, have less commercials on TV than somebody who hasn't accomplished shit in the league?
Facts.
Well, I'll say
so
this.
I think the race factor to me is clear as day. And like Todd just said, like, more black players, especially at their position, need to really, you know what I mean, stand in their power and unite. But then again, you know what I mean?
That's what this whole thing is for them not to do that. Because if we got more, like that's why I said, if we get more of Shedeur's, You feel what I'm saying? They're literally showing you if you step up like how he is, or because of his father, whatever the case is, this is what the fuck is going to happen. Literally.
Yeah.
That's what is going to happen. Like, no matter if the niggas stand up or not, you getting spanked. Literally. You feel what I'm saying? That was the same thing with following Cap with the knee. What did Jerry do? You feel what I'm saying? Niggas are, I'm throwing you off the team if I see you take a knee. You feel what I'm saying? They don't want niggas to be strong together.
When Colin Kaepernick first took a knee, I'll say this, like, I'm just only in the interest of fairness. Like, we don't have an example of a white father coming in and throwing his weight around. We don't have an example of that happening on a consistent basis. And let's be fair to Christian McCaffrey also. He also got blackballed against because he wasn't a black running back. Coming out of Stanford. They gave him no awards. They gave him no accolades. They gave him no nothing. And with his numbers was being the same as Derrick Henry, he still didn't get a top draft spot like that. That's
still a first round pick.
Now, I know, but what I'm saying is what he was supposed to get or what he did not get. Like, they literally was saying, you literally have white coaches saying, yeah, he's not black.
That's bad.
Yeah, that's bad.
That goes into what C just said with the racial shit being.
Wait.
Sin right, but they ain't do that for Peyton Hillis though.
True.
But that's I feel like there's a multitude of examples that we're probably not thinking of off the top of our heads and not taking into consideration because Shedeur has the current situation as we speak.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
We're not happy when Don did what he did. They were not happy when Brett Favre did what he did, based off what I've seen off docs. That was not commended and celebrated and clapped. And if it wasn't for Green Bay, Brett Favre would have been in trouble. 100%. And they
He did it twice.
Yeah, they go through their drama with white players all the time. It's just
Brett Favre did it twice.
What do you actually care about? Jerry Jones took hell for giving Greg Hardy an opportunity.
Yeah.
Player opportunity who beat a woman up, tied her up, and held her captive. And Jerry Jones gave him an opportunity.
They gave him an opportunity for
and and he got smoked for it by other white people.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I mean, there's just been other examples that I think people are not taking into consideration because the NFL, it comes to power. And I'm all for what Deion is doing for Shedeur because that's his son and he has that right. But what owner is going to be okay with that? What owner is going to be okay with you going on platforms saying, I'm going to control where he goes? I mean, I don't know if Archie Manning was going on Jay Leno and the Tonight Show. And
Damn sure he wasn't.
Like that. We don't know if Archie was a situation.
That's a little disingenuous in my opinion, just because there's so many conversations in these back rooms that we don't know about. We're not privy to. You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of
the Shedeur and Deion shit is playing out in the media daily, so of course we're aware of it. You know what I mean? But like we mentioned, like there's legacy families that are in the NFL that have kids that have passed through and have been there because of who their dad or their uncle was or whatever. We don't know the conversation that they having.
We're not supposed to. Why you? So that's my point. But that's my
point. But I mean, Deion, his whole career was in the limelight.
How do we? All right, but you're a coach now. You're not a player. And you ain't never coached at the highest level. How are we supposed to feel about you going on press runs saying he won't be going here and he won't be going there, and I will be stepping in? How is ego to ego? How am I supposed to feel about that?
That's why I said Shedeur wearing the sins of his father, because that statement right there, that press run was crazy.
That's why he dropped.
Yeah, that statement is crazy, yo.
That press run is crazy.
That's why
they gotta say that then. You know what I mean? Because they trying to pinpoint hella other shit that like, oh, he didn't throw at the combine. Like there's mad quarterbacks.
Yeah, true.
And that's what I'm saying. They
she's right. Yeah, they're not saying that.
I was literally saying that to my father earlier. You feel what I'm saying?
The hypocrisy is crazy.
That same shit. Like they gonna penalize him for not being at the combine, but mad motherfuckers don't do that shit. You know what I'm saying? Niggas go straight to pro day type shit. You feel what I'm saying? Like literally, Marvin Harrison literally just did that last year.
Yeah, he did that last year.
You feel what I'm saying? We're not talking about that. There was no issue.
And then didn't sign the NFLPA for his jersey to get sold.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like the aesthetic of being a quarterback is still very white, even though the most recent Super Bowl, you know what I'm saying, had 2 black quarterbacks playing in it, but they're not threatening personalities.
No.
You know what I mean? Jalen Hurts is probably the most perfect black personality as a quarterback that we probably seen in a minute. They ain't got nothing. Like you can't say nothing about him off the field. You know what I'm saying? Like he's mad positive, like you know what I mean, mad proper, like humble as hell, didn't really buy a crazy crib, like paid off his sister's student loans and all, like, you know what I mean? He's mad.
You right.
Shit.
You're right. That quarterback position, the last position in football that they really holding on to. Like
They hold on to it. They treat it like the presidency, bro.
Yeah, like that.
And they
like the U.S. president.
And if, no matter what I'm saying is, from what I've seen, no matter what your race is, if you disrespect it, it's up for you. They sent Baker. They killed Baker's entire value. They worked extra hard to destroy his ego and break him down.
He was still number one pick, though, bro.
No, I'm saying after he was in the NFL, son just got that going.
The product on the field.
They knew Johnny Manziel was sniffing coke.
Like, come on, yo, we can't compare that shit to Shedeur.
We can compare it, not necessarily. All these situations and scenarios are different. Even down to how I broke down Deion going on press tours.
But Baker didn't produce on the field, though, bro. Like, you know what I mean?
Wait, what I'm saying is, okay, when Baker was who got the kids? When Baker was parading and when he was starting to get his when he was getting outside his, and they sent him out to Cleveland. Son was rolling around being a backup. Nobody cared about him when he was in the Panthers. He wasn't a sympathetic figure. They could have sent him to another good situation. He was left for dead with the Panthers. Then he went to the Rams and was left for dead over there. He had to make his way back to the Buccaneers and play himself back up. The point I'm making is they will check you if you get out of line, regardless of what your race is, if you play with them. That's how the NFL is, and that's how it's always going to be. Even if you can add
Baker got opportunities year in and year out.
He started everywhere he went.
Exactly. Yeah. How long did it take Geno Smith to get another opportunity after the New York Jets?
Yo, Geno Smith was everywhere, but he also didn't have high value coming out of college. They packed him up. No, he didn't. Do you remember his combine? Do you remember his combine?
The man coming out of West Virginia.
No, he was the man in college. I'm talking about when it was time to get into the NFL. They were saying shit about him, Teddy Bridgewater, all of them guys. They was playing all of them. I'm saying, including Johnny Manziel. Johnny Manziel dropped. They had what they wanted to do to Shedeur. They embarrassed Johnny Manziel draft night. He had to text the GM and say, "Yo, come get me and let's wreck the league together," just to get picked. Stephen Jones put it out there. I'm begging my father not to take this man. They didn't keep it private with Johnny. They wanted him to know what it was off the rip, and they sent him to embarrass him too. His first day of practice, they put the front 7 starters out of there, and he wasn't even a starter. That's not crazy.
No, the only time we ever seen something like this though is the Archie and Eli got drafted to San Diego, and Archie was like, "My boy ain't going there."
Yes.
That's it. So that white dynamic in front of us, that was damn near on TV that night. My boy ain't going there. Swap.
That was also so long ago.
No, but we're just looking at the institution. Even though it was long ago, it still thrives in this institution we're talking about.
True, but if your examples are 30, 40 years ago, we could do that with anything in history.
We've never seen another father deal with their children.
That's not true. That we've never seen it. Christian McCaffrey's father was very involved.
Well, we're talking about QBs.
All right, like
Ed McCaffrey was not Archie Manning, brother.
He's not. He's definitely not. That's football. You know how it goes. What I'm saying is, I'm not saying that Shedeur didn't get unfair treatment. What I'm saying is, no matter what your race is, if you buck at the system, they will tax your ass. That's what I've seen in the NFL for the entire time.
Wasn't it just a white nigga big lineman? Wasn't it just a big white lineman with a black girlfriend and beat her all the fuck up? They ain't do shit to this nigga.
Okay.
So the system don't, like, you could buck against the system. You can't buck against the system if you got melanin in it.
Bro, do you know how many black players sketchy who have done this?
We talking about black QBs, bro.
I know. I'm responding to Ty directly. There have been great, talented black players. Y'all right in terms of the quarterback conversation. And that's the only conversation I want to speak around. But what I'm saying is, if you know how they operate on a regular basis, the best thing to get creep up on you, if the best way to deal with your enemy is to creep up on them. You don't want to announce, you don't think like, come on, Dion, like you thought you was the man so much to the point where you thought that you can parade yourself around.
That you can say some shit like that and nothing
That's
be done.
true. Well, you
Yeah.
totally correct with that. Totally correct.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you, and I have no problem with you. He could have said that to me behind the scenes, like, "Yo, they
Yeah.
fun," and I'm gonna text their ass.
But going on late night TV with your feet up is wild.
On YouTube, like you
On your son's back.
You and your son got to deal with that. You played already. You a Hall of Famer. This is Shedeur's journey. This is his journey and his story. And I'm 100%. I'm with Dion, and I respect how he's gonna be with his son. But you're not gonna see Archie Manning doing press interviews talking like that. I doubt it.
Yeah, Dion tried to use that, like that's what basketball players do.
They was flexing.
They could parade around. LeBron could parade around and then talk about my son getting in the league and yeah, he playing with me and all that shit. Dion tried to run that same similar, but the NBA is so black player friendly compared to the NFL being so opposite. Like, oh no, you ain't getting that off of it.
Clearly not though, because look what just happened to Cayenne. My thing is, it's not what you do, it's how you do it. It's damned if you do, damned if you don't.
What with the McDonald's All-Star shit?
Yeah. Him being left out of that is crazy, especially being
the number one.
I mean,
yeah, that was insane. I'm not gonna hold you.
Yeah, but that was something with his dad. Didn't Melo say something about doing commercials for McDonald's or some shit? And
no, he said that with him doing the McDonald's campaign, he thought that they were gonna get the nod.
Oh,
like all right, and he wasn't doing it for that reason. So he explained. He was just saying, with me doing that, I
yeah, they came to me. I thought
get a look, you know what I mean? But basically, the point that I'm making is, it's not what you do, it's how you do it. What happened to Shedeur is very unfortunate. So I don't want nobody to hear my words and automatically think that I'm, caping for the NFL or I'm speaking up on their behalf. I'm saying, if I'm an owner and I hear you talking like that, I'm gonna show you better than I can tell you, dog.
Yeah, I can go. That's true.
Just got into this. You've been coaching on a child level. You feel me? But you haven't been coaching at the highest level to be telling me what you gonna do and what you not gonna do. For his
that's true.
Bring him in and skip that on the combine and say, this is crazy. And me being Shedeur's man, I would feel crazy about this. Yeah, I'm gonna do it here at Buffalo. I'm gonna do my throwing at Buffalo. You already got enough tape on me. And honestly, I just got y'all here just to see my guys. Just so y'all can see how my guys give it up and give them a shot. Dog, you're not in the league. What are you talking about?
Nah. Everything you saying right, but it's just like when niggas saying if that was the reason why he got drafted, why not just say that? Why say all this other bullshit? Just say I would have just said from the rip, like, nah, we ain't feeling his pops putting that out there like that.
Now we can tap into the race side of things because in our community, saying what it is and how you feel off of it, where you stand with me, that's a us thing.
That is.
Their community is not.
Yeah, that's true.
Say what needs to be said publicly.
Yeah, that's true.
Those doors a whole different story.
And I'm just telling you how I was raised. I'm not necessarily coming at any person that's not of our background. My grandmother told me when I was a child, a person will cut your throat and ask you why you bleeding. I mean, they're gonna cut your throat, but they're gonna stare at you like you should have known. You know how I give it up. That other side, they're gonna help you look for the knife and be like, I can't believe this happened, and they help you to the hospital.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact.
Worlds, you feel me? And I'm not knocking anybody knocking how they rock, but at the end of the day, know who you're dealing with and move accordingly. I mean, I feel bad for Shedeur. I still don't think it's over. Him getting drafted, this is not over, and they're not done. Respectfully, they're not done. They sent you to the Browns for a reason, dog. I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for you and Dion. I hope Shiloh gets in, and not just them. I hope Jimmy Horn gets his opportunity. I hope Will Shepherd gets his opportunity. That whole offense suffered behind that, and I hope Dion is able to recruit. Because right now, who's gonna want to come to play for Colorado if that can happen?
That's why I said, man.
Nobody.
That's why I said, bro.
Somebody off and mess up my future.
But it's just
with NIL though. They still gonna be coming there because you're gonna get a bag in college either way.
Remember, everybody don't get NILs. That's a big misconception too. Sometimes they be thinking the whole roster get NILs. There's a lot of people on LSU that wasn't getting what Angel Reese was getting. It's a lot of people in Colorado that wasn't getting what Travis Hunter and Shedeur was getting. You got to leverage that. You got reason why you sell tickets.
Yeah.
You getting C's and D's, and your internet followers is 11K. Why the hell am I giving you money to play here? No disrespect. I wasn't trying to be funny when I said that. But
but that's real though. It's real. It's real.
If we're gonna implement a new system to benefit our community, we gotta be smarter how we do things. You know, it don't gotta be loud.
No, I think the internet played a big part of that.
True.
The internet played a big part of that, and I think that's what he tried. That's what he tried. You feel what I'm saying? Because a lot of, just like you said, the us factor. We definitely gonna hold them down or whatever the case is. But when it comes to the, you feel what I'm saying, the big shebang, they showed you who really run shit. I don't give a fuck about what's going. Like, they felt embarrassed and they probably felt, you feel what I'm saying, they felt disrespected. All right, well, we going to disrespect you on a big ass stage.
Yeah, since you want to play.
We're gonna disrespect you. Like just like we was talking about the Archie Man and shit. Like, again, like I said, the internet plays different. Like, Archie Manning could have felt like that the whole entire time, but there was no platform for him to speak about that.
Yeah, it was no internet.
You feel what I'm saying? It was no internet. So, like, we had to listen to the sources that was coming out on ESPN or First Take or any of that extra shit. You feel what I'm saying? Dion could just talk, and I could record that on my phone and upload that. And now everybody, you feel what I'm saying, has a say-so, an opinion. And now fans up underneath shit can just start, you feel what I'm saying, talking crazy to me and stuff like that. Like, so like I said, niggas probably felt mad embarrassed or felt like, you feel what I'm saying, like niggas don't like that shit. So it's just like, oh, all right, say less.
To add on, let's be clear, Shedeur is, I don't know if y'all said otherwise prior, or I may have heard it wrong. Shedeur is way more clean cut and professional than Cam Ward is.
Yeah.
For
Cam
sure. Ward was straight hopped on the interview and was like, that's what I'm talking about, my nigga. You know how we give it up.
Yeah, no, facts.
But anyways, like, he is very brash.
Yeah, facts.
He's loud, and he is very, he don't have the same star power and sauce that Shedeur got. But when it comes to this, son is very vocal.
Yeah.
Very, very vocal.
I think it's the extras. You know what I mean? Like, the extras.
Yeah.
Rapping, the wearing, you know what I mean? The rollies.
Y'all remember when they was mad at Johnny? How he did his pro day with his pads on and was playing rap music while he was throwing. Yo, you hear us now, fuck? I don't know if y'all remember Johnny Manziel's I don't know if it was his pro day or his senior day where he did a throwing, but because they felt like he couldn't run in pads. They felt like he could operate with pads on in 4 quarters. So he did his whole joint with pads on, playing Drake and Future. And them older people was looking like, what is going on here? Like, are you making a mockery of what goes on here? Son got mad criticism for that. So people using Johnny Manziel as an example, like the NFL didn't hate him. Tom Brady came out publicly and called him a little shit. Literally, straight at Johnny's neck. You ain't never seen, no quarterback has like a current, like Pat Mahomes came out and indirectly stuck up for him and said crazy. We knew what that meant when Pat Mahomes tweeted that last night. Like, this is crazy. He got
crazy tweet was freaking Donald Trump tweeting it.
Donald Trump speaking up for him.
No, but it was crazy that they even gave Manziel a situation because they knew he was in college and in high school wilding, sniffing coke, having parties. So they blessed him.
They did not. They gave him a horrible situation and put him on the worst.
They drafted you. I understand where they placed you. Nigga, we already knew you was terrible and a fucking cokehead. You wasn't supposed to get the opportunity.
Bro, they gave him an opportunity to make a mockery out of him. They didn't give him an opportunity where he could flourish. They was embarrassing him. They started him. He won a game or competed better than Brian Hoyer and then pulled, I think it was Josh McCown, and then pulled him back off and made him a bench player again when he was playing better than the starter. Where do you do that at? Where you play better than
he had a run.
And they rip you back off the field and say, never mind. We're going to let Josh McCown or Brian Hoyer get another run at this. Like I said, for the starting day, he was a backup quarterback. He wasn't the starter, and they had him playing against the front 7 of the starters. When you're trying to teach somebody and groom them and help them learn the process, you don't throw Micah Parsons at the 3rd string quarterback. He's not doing his reps against the starters. So that tells you that they want you to fail off the rip. It's just people pick and choose who to be sympathetic for. And people vicariously live through people that look like them. And that don't change for Hispanic or white, no matter what you are. Yes, somebody can look at Dart and see himself in Dart more than he see himself in Shedeur. So he don't want to believe that Dart got his opportunity because they were mad at Shedeur. If he see himself in him, I can not to go to an extreme example, and it's my bad if this is a little too far. But what's the serial killer that got let out of jail or arrested for doing something obscene? Jeffrey Dahmer, when he did something obscene at a children's park. What did the judge say to him? Damn, this case is, what you did is despicable. But you know what? You remind me of my grandson. See what I mean? Once people start looking at you, we've all been in Shedeur's shoes before, where somebody started judging us before we even jumped off the joint because they don't understand us. So we can look at Shedeur and be like, yo, I feel you, bro. I know when people try to change you or make you into them for their own comfortability. So we can feel Shedeur on that. Respect. I feel bad for him, and I'm rooting for him. But at the end of the day, the NFL has been the NFL thus far. They show you what it is time and time again. Whether it's a Kaepernick, whether it's a Greg Hardy, whether it's a Marshawn Lynch, whether it's a Richard Sherman. My man Richard Sherman was on his way to the Super Bowl, and they was calling him a thug. And this is a graduate from Harvard, 4.0.
Yeah, word.
That's a fact.
That's
a fact.
Like, cause like when I said that earlier, whether if it was like race or being black, like his and his father, I feel like Shedeur got a combination of all three. It's like you got too many struggles as far as us for us not the black boy. Because a lot of the times niggas that have like one, because whether if it's white, black, green, whatever, the racist card was never lit. Like I ain't gonna hold you. Even when white niggas get blackballed and I catch the story, as long as the skill set is overqualified for job, I always think that shit is crazy. You know what I'm saying? It just never makes sense to, oh nah, fuck this nigga because he's not this.
What's the name of homie who? Sorry, Chef, I didn't cut you off. What's the name of homie who played for the Eagles and called the kids the niggers at the country concert?
You talking about Riley Cooper?
Yeah, did he get where did he end up after that?
I don't know. He was on. He was still on the team. I think he was on the team. He got did he get a big ass contract after that shit?
No. He didn't get a contract. What he got was
they got rid of Shady and Deshaun, and he was still on the roster.
Yeah, he was still on the roster.
That's why I'm bringing the example up. What happened was y'all are absolutely correct. Chip Kelly tried to give him a pass for that.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, exactly.
That early, they got him up out of there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Obviously, he's not a sympathetic figure because what he did was horrible. But there were a lot of white people in power that had a problem with him still being on that roster.
Right.
And we know what that was. And look, I don't want to say this off camera. Deshaun Jackson is my favorite wide receiver. But we not going to act like son don't be throwing up sets after he scored.
Mm-hmm.
We're not. Score touchdowns and throw up a set and then say, oh, you accusing me of being affiliated with a gang?
Affiliated,
you from LA, dog.
I'm not affiliated.
I'm a huge Deshaun Jackson fan. That's my favorite wide receiver of all time. You're from LA and you're throwing up sets after you score touchdowns and then saying, whoa, what are you talking about? Why are you judging me?
It's definitely why you judging me, because us in the Deshaun community, normally when we win or score, it's, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So if I was Steven, it would have been cool. Feel me? It would have been cool.
No, Steven's just not doing that.
That's the thing. Steven get like there and throw that beta sign up. Alpha Daters, Alpha.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying that you can't rep your culture or not celebrate however you see fit, but this is a 9 to 5. This is a job. I know it looks like financial freedom because they make money, but who's gonna walk into their establishment right now and say on the set, Big Crip? None of us.
That shit is crazy.
None of us. Yo, see, so you said I'm the coach. What the fuck is you talking about?
Going into the office.
Yeah, I mean, going in the office and saying big blood. You heard like that?
You already see what happened to my man? Like knocking nigga shit loose.
Yeah, I mean, he got fired for that. You have to conduct yourself like a constant professional, and that's one thing that Shedeur does, and that's one thing that Dion does. That's why I praise what they do so much. But you have to be a professional, and we are very capable of doing that, regardless of where we're from. We are very capable of conducting ourselves like professionals, no matter where we are or no matter what the establishment is. There's a time and place for everything. Nobody's saying that makes you fake or that makes you not real or you not thorough or you not being yourself. But come on, bro, this is big business, Shedeur. This is billionaire establishment, and you was raised in this. You know what to do, bro. Handle your business for sure.
You know, it just come with the name, honestly. Because, like I said, like with this situation, we've seen a lot of things that never happened before, even though his situation is similar, regardless of the reason of it happening, whether it's race or being blackballed or his pops. But that prank call is wild, my nigga.
Yeah, that was disgusting.
Yeah, niggas don't just got my number, gang.
Yeah, I mean,
so it's like
disgusting.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? And so it's like it's just the way it happened. It was crazy. It was crazy the way.
Not disgusting. Absolutely, I agree 100%. You know what I'm saying? 100%. But you know, to everybody, yo, what happens next? Everybody, give a perspective. What happens next for Shedeur, or what would you like to see happen for Shedeur?
No, like I said earlier, I feel like hopefully he gets a fair shake to, you know what I mean, potentially earn that job. Obviously, they have a big financial commitment to Deshaun, Watson or whatever. But if they're being honest and giving him a fair chance to win that job, then I think he's in a good situation with a franchise who desperately needs his type of skill set and the mentality that he's bringing, because they've had 30 starting quarterbacks since they became a team again in '99.
Yeah.
Something crazy. Like, hopefully they can have somebody, who's committed to the long-term, program that they're trying to build. And, he's mentored by Brady. We all know the Tom Brady story, the ultimate underdog. Hopefully he gets that chance to prove, why we all feel that he was slighted and done wrong, with this draft process. That's the whole goal. You know what I mean? We're all rooting for him. We all want him to do super well. Unfortunately, he is in a franchise that isn't really known for, putting together a solid product on the field year in and year out. They'll make the playoffs here and there and then go right back to being, a bottom dweller, for the next 5 years. So it's kind of like the opportunity is there, but hopefully he makes the most of it. Feel me?
I agree. Yo, Punch, you can hear us? Menace? Anybody can hear us? Yo, Menace, what would you like to see happen with Shedeur? And how do you think it's going to go for him going forward? I got the same question coming to you too, Punch.
Yeah. What I want? What you said? What do I want to see from Shedeur?
Yeah, like what would you like? How do you think it's going to go for him? And what would you like to see happen for him going forward?
I mean, to piggyback back off what you said earlier, like, do I think that this is done? No. What I would want to see is just, like I said, just have him, like, you know what I'm saying, him be successful as much as he could. I don't want him to fall into the antics or the bullshit, because it's just the beginning. You feel what I'm saying? Or what's motherfuckers gonna be, you feel what I'm saying, like, be trying to do to knock him off or try to make him fit the description of what it is that they tried to paint him. You feel what I'm saying? I just hope he played with that chip on his shoulder and lock in. You feel what I'm saying? Because he may be facing a lot more adversity off the field than he is on the field.
I respect that.
Feel me?
You still on?
Nah, he ain't on.
Oh, okay. His square's still up there. Punch, what would you like to see happen for Shedeur, and how do you think things are going to go for him?
First step on, I want him to show the world how to be a leader, sitting behind vets, as far as running the game, shit like that. Because the scope is on him whether he playing or not. So I want him to get that part out the way first. Then when he do get his chance, just play your game, bro. Don't go in there trying to prove people wrong and all that, because you're already on a short, you're on a short limit as soon as you get in there. So don't go into trying to play prove naysayers wrong. Just go play your game, bro. Don't feed into the media. That's why it's kind of good that he is behind like a dude like Deshaun Watson, because he see what that looks like. Somebody being on top of the world and falling off where nobody care about you. And so I think that's the perfect kind of situation for him to learn behind, honestly.
And also for Deshaun, you know what I mean? To like,
yeah. For both of them,
hopefully he gives that game to him, because we all know how them quarterbacks be sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Hell yeah.
Deshaun is done. Just
even with
Shedeur.
Shedeur, like, he don't gotta prove himself to fucking nobody, because he should already see that. You feel what I'm saying? Like, look at the impact that you doing, like, you got on right now. You ain't gotta prove shit to nobody.
Nah, he
Having the
don't.
personality
Honestly,
pick up was crazy.
honestly, if you look at all the pressure is on everybody else.
Exactly.
That's y'all pick the for.
Exactly. You put the mirror back in they fucking face, my nigga.
Yeah.
Literally.
What does that say about all the teams that passed on him? How do we feel about the GMs and
I don't think
coaches?
this is their decision.
Man, fuck how they feel. That's how I be coming.
No, I feel you, Menace, but I think people are looking at this wrong by saying GMs that passed. I think they were literally told how they were gonna like. I don't care what you like.
The program is gonna be run.
Reports that the Giants room was split between Dart and Shedeur. Ball just had the last say, but I literally feel like that call was put down there. Hey, don't touch him. Even if I feel bad for Brady if he did speak up and say, "Hey, I want to give Shedeur a shot," and they probably hit him with the, "Hey, look, dog, you don't play no more. You are minority shareholder. We let you in here just off the strength of who you was and you was good for." That's how they be talking to people who become minority shareholders. That's why they put. Look, the NBA would have said he's a part owner. The NBA will give you love and say you a part owner, knowing you only own 2% or 1%. The NFL put it out there early. He's a minority shareholder, and he will be consulted with as is. They ain't painted no way. They ain't and they checked him. Yo, we know you took your little job with the newscasting and got your 100 mil. So let's shoot it to you straight. Don't compliment no players. Don't say nothing about nothing. Don't be trying to sway nobody. Like, he's under a tight leash himself. And this is the greatest quarterback of all time. I'm with y'all. Shedeur just need to play his game. I'm not even gonna give him advice until he gets out of Cleveland. If he can get another opportunity outside of Cleveland, then I'll start saying, all right, bro, this as long as he's there,
What if Cleveland ends up being a blessing in disguise for him?
Then I'll gladly say I was wrong, and I'll be happy for him. I'll gladly say I was wrong.
Man, you can't. I feel like you can't stop what's supposed to happen. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's why you feel me? If you're how especially how his family is and what it sound like, you feel what I'm saying? Them niggas they step with God. You feel me? Like, you can't stop what's gonna happen. Like, no matter what you try to do to a motherfucker, it's still, you feel what I'm saying? It may delay it. It can knock them off a route, but if it still can come full circle. You feel what I'm saying? You can't stop what's supposed to happen.
That's why I want him to get out of Cleveland. I feel like I think he can showcase enough in Cleveland where somebody could give him an opportunity and give him a fresh start.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm hoping for.
We want to see wild inconsistencies with this shit, though.
100%. And this ain't I feel like we should follow this, y'all. I feel like we should follow this story through the season, through the offseason.
Yeah, we know he top 5. We know he first round talent, but he was drafted 5th round. So y'all better treat him like he was drafted 5th round.
100%. We'll switch it up and put huge requirements on him. This is where we getting into a different bag. Y'all said he's 5th round, right?
Yeah.
Treat him like he's 5th round.
Yeah, word.
He shouldn't have that big ass expectation on it. And
I'm a 5th rounder. That's what y'all said. Because y'all, let's be clear and let's put this out here. Y'all used his name just to get the stock up on this draft. Y'all used his name all the draft process. Everything was Shedeur this, Shedeur that, just to say he wasn't good enough. Okay, let's see. Look how packed that media room gonna be in Cleveland, boy.
All I know is this: when his contract time is up, he better hit them for everything they got.
Nah, yeah. I agree. Nah, it ain't no pay cuts, nothing.
Discounted, nothing.
Yeah, no pay cuts, nothing, bro.
Nothing.
He's gonna play well. If you watch Colorado, by the time he was there, he can play. There's a lot of people who didn't watch.
Jackson State, he was putting amazing tape on. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. You know what they was gonna say with HBCUs and how their system is run. Everybody had doubts when he stepped into Colorado, but him and Dion, and they showed otherwise. He can ball, bro. I don't care. You're not gonna
Some nights, like, we gotta keep it 100, bro. We got a lot of black quarterbacks in the league. He already throw the ball out there. I ain't gonna say names, but he do, bro.
Yeah. Absolutely. Geno Smith, one of them. Sorry.
Yeah. Zeno definitely, but it's even people ranked higher than him that he throws the ball better than from the pocket.
Absolutely. Yep, on both. Yeah. Son is elite with his accuracy, and he's consistent, and he's locked in, and he don't rattle. no matter what's happening to him, I done seen son get ran over crazy. I done seen him get hurt, go through, snap the shoulder, come back. I done seen it every time. It looked like they gonna lose. They said Dart was drive the ball down the field. Like, you know how many make or break situations Shedeur was in and drove the ball down the field, pushed it to overtime, then did it again and won the game? Y'all crazy, bro. Go watch the tape. We talk about people who watch the game. There's a lot of people that talk that didn't watch nothing.
All right, brother.
Bro, they ignored all that film and hung up on him not throwing at the combine.
My fault, bro. My fault. Highlight watchers. I wasn't dissing. My fault, bro. I wasn't talking about us. You know what I'm saying? It's talking about the people on social media. My fault, sir. What'd you say?
No, I was saying, like, they ignored all that film all year just to highlight that he didn't throw at the combine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like he's the first person to not throw at the combine. There's mad superstars that didn't throw at the combine, bro.
That's I mean, they was trying to do the same thing with Cam when he played half the bowl game. And niggas don't be playing in that shit.
They was throwing Shedeur over him. That whole
they was throwing it all. Yeah, they was doing mad extra shit.
Situation was he failed his team. He's selfish.
Yeah, like what the fuck are y'all talking about?
I'm telling y'all literally could go back and look at the timestamps on the videos. They literally did not start loving Cam Ward until him and Shedeur start doing videos together, and they had it out for Shedeur. That's what they do. You know what I mean? I don't want to put that behavior on women. You know what I mean? But it's the best example I can think of. When they want to separate y'all, they'll start showing love to one over the other. That's how people operate. It's a clear old school divide and conquer contact. A divide and conquer tactic. Literally, I'm just gonna overly show love to this one and inflate his ego and see if he falls for it. And most guys do. And that's literally what they did with Cam Ward. They was just shout out to Cam Ward for not falling for it. Shout out to Cam Ward for not turning his back on Shedeur, dissing him through the media, and letting them play each other apart.
That's what they want. That's what they want.
I hated seeing them videos with them joking together, laughing, up in arms.
Damn, I forgot. It is what, like 4 in the morning over there, right?
It's about to be 4 a.m. out here.
Oh,
yeah, I forgot about that shit.
Oh, yeah, I mean, ladies and gentlemen, this is the last.
Yo, I forgot all about that shit. Bro, it's on the other side of the world. It is 4 in the morning.
I was cooking.
About to be tired.
Dropping soliloquies, bro. You would have thought it was 3 in the afternoon, bro.
Yo, I forgot all about that shit, bro.
My fault, ladies and gentlemen. This is not the last you'll see of us. I promise you, this is the official Sophisticated Ignorance Sports panel. This is official. Nothing more, nothing less. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
We will be dropping all 3 episodes: the Eastern Conference, the Western Conference, and the Shedeur breakdown. Appreciate, love. You already know, roll the volume up.
It's just sophisticated ignorance, write my curses in cursive. Yeah, what we doing, Oz? You already know what the fuck it is, nigga. Business album on the way. Came to do what I do, man. I'm a motherfucking animal. Here's how I handle you. You don't want to spar with the bars, I damage you. These niggas got you gassed, so you think your rap's flammable. We could bet whatever, it's nothing to dismantle you, nigga. Cut the foolishness, y'all know that I do this shit. All I do is cook up noodles with the tuna fish. These rappers still bars, I off they shit. These niggas take 16s like sophomore trips. Nah, we is not the same, nah. I am not for games, nor a crackhead. Do you dirty for some pocket change. I done seen a Mac bang, no rocket game. K-rounds hit the ground, sound like you dropping change. It's a drought if you looking for waist scrap, so it's hard to get work like niggas with face tats. My style lit and your whole loving it. Want me to come to a crib naked, Joe Button shit.